Member for Kelowna Mission.
Well, 18 months ago, the Premier promised tangible results. Instead, he's failed on every front. His legalization of open drug use has unleashed chaos. Meanwhile, 6 lives a day are still lost. At the same time, life has never been more expensive as he triples the carbon tax. This, despite the latest report revealing that BC's carbon emissions are going up. In fact, the NDP record is the worst in Canada. While British Columbians struggle to pay for gas and groceries, why is this Premier jacking up the carbon tax to 38 cents a litre and utterly failing to reduce emissions? Hear, hear.
Minister of Environment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. We continue to have confidence in our Clean BC roadmap, and it continues to show results. The emissions inventory changes because the federal government doesn't have accurate data on methane emissions to establish a baseline many years back. They admit this in their report, which I wish the member had read fully. The report is really clear, and I'll quote from the report. Despite these technical estimation issues, the oil and gas industry in BC has consistently been shown to have one of the lowest emission intensities, emissions per unit of production in Canada and internationally. This is supported by the recent atmospheric measurements. The 2024 National Inventory shows a more than 50% reduction in methane emissions intensity between 2012 and 2022.
Member supplemental.
Results? Results? The results are that this NDP government holds the worst emissions record in Canada, with emissions rising from 61.9 megatons in 2016 to 64.3 megatons in last week's report. Shame. While emissions in nearly every other province have declined during that period, under this NDP government, emissions are on the rise. Wow. The Premier promised results, but has delivered only increasing emissions and higher costs for gas, groceries, and heating. Shame. With families struggling to afford essentials, why won't the Premier adopt BC United's plan to give people a break at the pump immediately and exempt the carbon tax on home heating?
Minister of Environment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And British Columbians have a really good chance to evaluate our plan because we report annually through a climate change accountability report. Perhaps British Columbians could actually judge the opposition plan if they had one, but they don't, and neither does the Conservative Party. I wish the member opposite had read the full report, had read the full commentary of the federal government on the report. Because the report is very clear. The report acknowledges that their ability...
Let the minister complete his answer, please.
The report acknowledges that the federal government, Environment and Climate Change Canada's ability to accurately establish a baseline that they used for calculating emission reductions is flawed. BC has the leading methane emission measurement methodology in Canada. Environment and Climate Change Canada has been clear. They want to work with us, and I'll quote once more. The expected upward revisions of pre-2020 emissions in next year's report would result in a larger reduction in intensity since 2012. The federal government is clear. They know they have a problem. They know we've got it right. They're going to work with us so they get it right too.